Then he was offered the job by the captain of carrying the flag. And father was still in private, he hadn't got a uniform, but Dad said he was known as Joe by everybody.
Dad was?
Yes, known by
Was he?
Joe, that's his name.
Never heard of that.
Yes. He was born George,
Right.
but he was known as Joe, and he calls himself Albert. It's true.
Yeah,
You
I've
go,
heard that.
it goes up to his room, you see it marked on the door, Albert. You know. Anyhow, so Joe said to the army officer, I haven't got any uniform yet. So the army officer said to Joe, there's only one thing I ask of you. You can carry the flag on condition that you don't look at the girls. So Joe promised. But the day came.
The flag is leaning. No. You're on your way out.
Anyhow, Joe, he became a company guard, had a little Bible class among the children there in the Civil Corps. And in the Sunday school, there was a young lady who used to come, who was also a company guard, teaching the Sunday school, who had a great, massive bunch of hair at the back of her head. What they used to call a bun.
Bun. Sure.
But this was such a massive thing, you know. It took hair that went down to your waist to make such a big one.
Yeah.
So it was this bun that first of all attracted Joe to Emily Griggs. Emily Griggs had come up from the south coast. She was a fisherman's daughter, and she was in service. So she was a maid in the home of a rich shoemaker who lived on Purley Hill near Croydon. And so seeing Purley Hill was not far from Croydon Citadel, she used to go to Croydon Court, and so she became a company guard there, and that's where the two met. Well, at least Joe eyed, as he ought not to have done. And then he thought he should take things a little further, so he started sitting behind her in the services, and in order to break the ice, on one occasion, Joe leaned over and said to Emily, could you tell me the time, please?
Show the service.
Emily said, well, there's a clock over your head, look up. So well, it diminished his ardour a little bit, but not for too long. And then he came back a little later on, sat behind her and said, could I take you out after the service?
Certainly not.
So she turned around and said, actually, certainly not. I don't know. So, but Albert didn't give up. And then a problem arrived. They had started this time walking out together a little bit, and he felt that he should become a Salvation Army officer. Now, they must have talked about it because she was against it. So he thought, how am I going to break the news that we can't continue our courtship, you see? So he bought half a pound of almond toffee.
Bribery and corruption. That's where it started, huh?
You're very romantic, don't you think? You have a toffee.
So he gave her this almond toffee. And
the love toffee's ever since.
And he brought the news to her that they couldn't continue courting because he was going to the Salvation Army Training College. And so Emily looked at Joe and said, well, that's all right. You go your way and I'll go mine.